Hello everyone, it has been a minute. What did I do? I went to
Some place called Disney World, which kind of sounds like Waterland, but less determined to kill you.
and oh yeah, I met these guys.
Hi.
If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you've probably already seen the video, but yeah, Disney invited me out to create content at the Santa Monica pop-up, and I met the Percy Jackson cast there. It was just so special. I still can't believe that happened. I'm just so grateful, and I met a lot of you guys there too, which was really, really fun. Thank you for stopping and saying hi if you did. It was just so crazy to get to do that after, you know, reading the books for the first time last year and falling in love with them and falling in love with this show, and yeah, it was... So I wasn't able to watch episode 7 and 8 until I got home, which is now. So let's stop talking and dive in. To celebrate, I have made some blue milk, which I know is a Star Wars thing, but it's blue, so I'm claiming it as Percy Jackson right now. We got Crusty! We got Crusty!
You are Procrustes, son of Poseidon and murderer of travelers.
Percy pulled a Legolas. That is no mere salesman. That is Procrustes, son of Poseidon. You owe him a beheading. The guy who played Death on Supernatural. Baby Percy, that's my boy! I love this. This is my favorite part of getting adaptations, is when we get to see more than was in the book. When we get to expand on the story and the relationship between the characters, like outside of the protagonist's present day point of view. That's the fun part of adaptations. I love when they do that.
You're not dead.
I mean, we're all dying.
Fluffy! Sorry, that was wrong fandom.
Are a bad dog.
No, Grover, don't say that. He's a good dog.
My pearl, I lost the pearl.
Oh no! Grover lost the pearl! Who could have seen that coming? I'm so shocked!
Some children are better off being with their parent.
I'm sorry, but no, I cannot accept that as an answer. So let's, you and I, figure out a way.
I adore these scenes. I adore these scenes. Similarly to how I was saying the show actually helped me understand Annabeth's character better, the show was helping me understand Percy's character better. I almost feel like I relate to Percy now more so than I did even when I was finished with the first book. And as much as I know people want a word-for-word adaptation, and like, you know, I'd always be happy with a word-for-word adaptation, I love that the show has these extra scenes because it's giving me a new perspective on the characters, which is really interesting.
Souls here are bound by regret.
Oh, shit, that's where I'm going. I regret everything. I can't have a conversation without regretting 90% of what came out of my mouth. It's okay. I don't mind being a spooky tree for eternity.
Annabeth! Annabeth!
Walker's rent was due. Okay, that desperation. These kids can act, man.
Some kind of regret, right? But what would you have to regret?
Is her regret, is it Thalia? Or is it like her dad? I'm trying to figure out if it's supposed to be obvious and I'm just not understanding it, or if they're gonna like elaborate on it later, if it's like gonna come back. We'll see. Grover! I know what's gonna happen and I'm still scared. Maybe I'm just sensitive. I've seen people online say that this show doesn't have enough suspense. Not me, not me. This is too much suspense for me, okay? This is too scary for me. Oh, Percy found the bolt early. This is earlier than in the, yeah. The sacred texts. I think one of the reasons that I'm not really bothered by the changes is because I feel like I trust the storytelling they've been doing. In my opinion, as I've said, the majority, not all of them, but the majority of the changes have benefited the storytelling in a positive way. So instead of being wary or disappointed when there's like a little change made, it's almost exciting for me. I almost feel like I'm getting to read the books for the first time again, and I'm wondering like what's gonna happen? He found the bolt. What's gonna happen?
It's gonna be really good for you. I know that too.
And right to the flashback. They're really playing with my emotions right now. All right, don't play with me like that. Don't play with me like.
Why are you trying so hard to get rid of me?
never did this to you.
I'm emotionally stable. I'm so 100% emotionally stable, and I'm 100% totally emotionally stable, especially when it comes to Sally Jackson. Okay? I'm so calm and cool about this. I was just thinking about, like, present day Percy realizing for the first time how hard it was for his mom and how she had to bear the burden of those choices on her own, and it's too late to tell her. He understands why she made the choices she made, because she's... Okay, no. This is what I mean when I say that the show is giving me, like, a new perspective on these characters. Like, it's making me think of these things that I hadn't thought of before, and, like, I feel like it's really going in depth on characters and their backstory and why they are the way that they are, and I love that.
You can just skip right past that part. Can I get you anything? Fresh pomegranate juice, a snack?
Actually, my mother.
Boom. Straight to business. I admire the cut of your jib.
His tone feels a little different than Book Hades, but I think I'm into it. I think I'm into it.
You're in cahoots with Aries.
I seldom cahoot.
If you displease me, I will kill your mom. I seldom cahoot.
Family drama is why I don't go up there anymore. These grudges, they go on forever. Super unhealthy.
He's like, this family's super unhealthy and toxic, but me, I'm built different. I'm in therapy. I'm on my healing journey. I have cut toxic people out of my life.
But that voice I heard, that definitely did not sound like you.
Percy heard Hades say, I do not cahoot once, and he's like, that ain't Kronos. Poseidon! Oh my gosh. I was not expecting to see him in a flashback like that.
But you have no one to say it to. And maybe that's the most unfair part of it. You say it, and I will listen.
He's... Oh my god. He is such a good Poseidon. That man stepped right out of the bug. These flashback scenes were so good. Oh, hang on, I need a break. I need a break while I collect my... Oh, it's the end of the episode. Good. Okay. Okay, I can calm down for a second. Oh my... Does the end credits song not sound like the Avengers theme? Like...
Look, you didn't ask to be a half-blood. But you are one. Which is good.
Okay, I'm glad we're showing flashbacks with Luke because I was worried we didn't get enough of his character for the betrayal to, like, really be emotionally impactful. So I'm glad they added back in the sword training. That's nice to see.
Who warned you? If you're not careful, you'll find out who I am.
Look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for.
Percy! This was a cool fight scene, and it was visually very fun to watch. It did feel a little bit short to me. And I almost feel like the same thing happened here that happened in the Crusty episode. So I did see, I was trying to avoid spoilers, but I did see comments of people saying that the Crusty scene and this Aries fight scene felt short and lacking suspense. And I think the reason for that is because both these scenes were episode openers. The Crusty scene specifically, I feel like that was not written to be suspenseful. I feel like they're like, this is going to be our light, fun episode opener. And that's why it came off that way. And I think the same thing happened with this Aries scene, which is that they're sort of saving that high suspense, the climactic suspense, for the events that are going to happen at the end of this episode. I think if they had put this Aries fight at the end of the last episode rather than the beginning of this episode, it could have sort of gotten that, like, dramatic tension that maybe it deserved, because it would have come off that all that dramatic buildup from the underworld, and they could have made it this big climax of the episode. Instead, when you put it at the very beginning, it sort of doesn't, it doesn't really read the same. And I think that's one of the things you have to manage when you're adapting a book, is how do you split up the events into episodes? And it's not an easy thing to do. I love them, Your Honor. Grover third wheeling again. Poor guy.
I can't believe that it's finally me and you and you and me, just us and your friend Steve.
Ooh, Olympus looks cool. For everyone asking where the budget for the show went, it went into Olympus, the Underworld, and Lin-Manuel Miranda's salary. I hope that helps. Thank you. Thank you. Gods in normal clothes. Was that so hard, Percy Jackson movie? Was it?
Be grateful, and it means be gone.
But the war can't continue.
Boy!
He's such a good Zeus. Like, he really exudes that sense of, like, godliness and power. Wow. I'm sure most of you know, but the actor who played Zeus, Lance Reddick, did sadly pass away, and Rick Riordan wrote a tribute to him on his website, and it was really nice to read if you want to pause and read it here.
Your family is a mess. They don't support you.
Percy really went up to Zeus and said, "Bro, your family's got issues. Seek help, my man."
I surrender. What? I surrender.
Do you ever dream about Mom?
Here we go.
Sorry, that scene was so good, I just stopped reacting to it. My brain was just like on a different planet. You know when you get really into a story and it's like, sorry, my mind wasn't here. I was out of office. I was on Olympus. And I've been enjoying this show. Clearly, you can tell by my reactions I've been enjoying this show. But that was the first time I was really like so sucked into it that I forgot everything else for a second. That was a really good scene. If they give me more scenes like that in season 2, it's over. It's over for me. I said in an earlier video they were going to have to work really hard to redeem Poseidon in the eyes of the audience, and boy were they working overtime. With the extra emphasis they were putting on the gods being like terrible, terrible parents, they really needed a Poseidon as a father who was trying his absolute best despite the circumstances to balance it out and to give it nuance, and they delivered on that beautifully. Oh no, it's coming. Oh no. I can't go through this again.
Back to Kronos.
I didn't think you give him to Grover to wear.
Luke! Luke, I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! I will say that was a big conclusion to jump to, Percy. Maybe he's just smarter than me, because like, I wouldn't have figured all of that out that fast. Though I guess to be fair, bro has 3 friends. He's got Annabeth, he's got Grover, and Luke. That's it. It's like process of elimination. Benefits of having no friends.
Annabeth?
Oh, that's an interesting change, Annabeth hearing it. Her expression. Oh my gosh. Where is her Emmy? If I could have seen them expand on one thing, it would have been Annabeth and Luke's relationship, because I feel like I really wanted to visually see them acting like siblings. I feel like it would have made this betrayal, especially when they show Annabeth hearing it, I feel like it would have made it so much more like gut punching. I feel like if you haven't read the books, you might not really grasp Luke's significance to Annabeth, and how devastating that betrayal is for her. So if there was something, I wish we could have seen that. Though I think there is definitely opportunity for flashbacks in later seasons when it comes to their relationship. So I hope we get that.
Meet back here next year.
This is a really great setup for next season.
All of us.
We're all gonna be back here. No, you're not! Those are my children. I genuinely think I haven't felt this much joy since I watched the end of a Harry Potter movie. Like, this, I think I've been missing this feeling of being in a fandom and watching and experiencing things like this together. Disney, if you don't give us a season 2, I will mail you Medusa's head. I'm just kidding. I will politely beg you. I am not above begging. Pretty please renew this show.
It's time to wake up.
What? 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 Is this a dream? What? Don't jump scare me like that.
If you ever feel like you don't fit, then you might be a part of our world. So don't give up. Because we might need you for the fight ahead.
That ending monologue, I feel like just really encompasses what Percy Jackson is about and what we love about it. This idea that maybe you don't feel like you belong in the real world, but those things that you think are your weaknesses are actually your strengths. No Gabe though? Did they ever fully explain why Sally was with Gabe, or did I miss that? I know I mentioned that the major reason for reducing Zeus's character was because they didn't want to show lots of like visually triggering abuse on screen. But I think another purpose it served was that it really helped Poseidon's character, especially with those flashback scenes where you can see Poseidon maybe not playing like an active role in Sally's life, but he's there and he cares about what is happening to her. You as a viewer might be like, why is he just letting Gabe hit her though? And while I think the book addresses this issue with one, Sally affirming that she wants and needs to fight her own battles, and two, we get a lot more explanation as to why the gods can't interfere. With the limited time they have on screen, I think it would be hard to reconcile this idea of a Poseidon that cares about Sally with a Poseidon not doing anything about Gabe hurting Sally. Oh, there's an after credit scene. Ah, how did I miss that? Okay, Gabe did get frozen. Okay, well, I emotionally processed that episode and the season being over. Here are my wishes for season 2. First thing, I would like them to really ramp up the humor and the humorous banter between the trio. I have seen the behind the scenes videos of these kids. They're so funny and they have so much good chemistry together and they're so funny together. And we started to get some of that on screen this season and I really liked it. And I think we're at a really good place now where these characters are comfortable with each other and you can really get that humorous banter. And I think they can add a lot of that into next season. I would love to see it. Number 2, I would love longer episodes or maybe more episodes in a season. And I know this one is tough because I do understand it'd be one thing if it's like, oh, it's a budget problem. Like, okay, just give them more money. Budget your budget better. But I also wonder if maybe there's some consideration toward the fact that these are child actors and you don't want to overwork child actors. 8 episodes is already a lot. And they do need time to get them done fast because these kids are growing. Have you seen how much Walker has grown since the first episode? But adding more time to the episode would, I think, increase the quality of the storytelling. It would allow for more world building. It would allow for more action. So I would love to see it if it's feasible to do while still letting these kids rest. Let them rest. Number 3, I would like to see the show and story mature over time, similar to how the Harry Potter movies did it. I think there being only 5 books compared to 7 or I guess 8 Harry Potter movies, I would really love to see a sort of jump in maturity similar to between the first and the third Harry Potter movie where you sort of have like a darker tone, a more mature tone. And I think one of the great things about heightening that emotional drama and about maturing that tone is that then when you have the funny scenes, they're even funnier because you have a big contrast between the dark and mature tone and the funny scenes. And the books did that very well. And the final note I want to end on before we go is that I want to talk about something that has been a recurring theme in all my videos, and that is, sorry, I lost my train of thought. And that is what it means to make an adaptation. I think there was almost a disconnect when they said they were going to make a book accurate adaptation. I think what a lot of fans heard is a accurate to the exact events of the story. And I don't think that's what they meant. I think they meant they were going to make an adaptation that was true to the heart of the story, true to the message the story wanted to tell, and true to the characterizations. I think this disconnect is why some people were feeling upset by the changes, because they're like, well, we were promised a book accurate one, but I think book accurate means different things to different people. Again, I am watching the show as someone who read the books for the first time last year. I don't have much nostalgia for them, so the changes made, they really don't bother me. They kind of excite me, but I can understand why, if you're like a very diehard fan who has read the book since childhood, why you might be a little upset with changes being made to the story. I think adaptations are best enjoyed as a different version of the story. As much as I like to make fun of the differences between the Harry Potter books and the movies, I still enjoy the movies because in my head, the movie versions of the Harry Potter characters and the book versions and the movie story and the book story, those are 2 completely separate things in my mind. I cannot reconcile those 2 things. And that's why I can enjoy them as two different versions of the story, because otherwise I would get really caught up in the changes. And so I think if you're someone who's having trouble liking the changes and you want to enjoy the show, I think the best thing you can do is to just see it as a different version of the story. Like, don't see it as the same version of the story, because you have the original version and that's not going anywhere, and now you get a second version of the story that you love, and how fun is that? Ooh, that was long. If you are still here, hi, I love you. Please feel free to like or subscribe if you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed going on this adventure. Some people have asked that I react to the upcoming live action Avatar series, and you bet I will. I have so much to say. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. If you just watched this video, if you watched all the reaction videos, it was really, really fun to get to experience this as a fandom and get to discuss it and get to talk about what we liked and what we disliked and be excited about it together. I really missed having that in my life. So thank you for sharing that with me. And wow, okay, that was a damn good show.